I'm Roger Urbaniak with Roger's Outdoor Channel. Today I'd like to see if I can give you a few tips on how to see more wildlife in your outings and in your deliberate attempts to see them. Basically, maybe you want to show your children or something like that. I found in my travels that I just, every time I see a wild animal out in a natural setting, it just charges me up. I mean, I get excited about it, and sometimes that's the highlight of the trip that I was taking at the time, is just, wow, I saw, 4 elk and a deer, and, maybe I was out just gathering mushrooms and they weren't out, but, I saw those elk and deer, and that was, made it a trip to remember. So, a couple things that I needed to learn over the years, I've been doing this for a long time, is, the first thing you really need to do when you're looking for, when you want to see something, is really force yourself to look for them. If you're driving through a wildlife area and saying, hey, there ought to be some deer here, or some wild turkey, or some, elk, bear, whatever, just kind of keep your eyes open and say, gee, let's pay attention out there and just kind of glance off to the side of the road a little bit and see if we can't spot something like that. And then you kind of train yourself a little bit further. I'm going to give you a few more tips on, the easiest way to spot wildlife is to, to watch for that little bit of color that's out of focus with the scenery that's around it. Just some shade of brown or gray or something that doesn't fit, and then kind of focus on that a little bit and see if you can't all of a sudden pick out the outline of an animal that is interesting to you. The other thing is movement. A lot of times, maybe your noise or just the twitch of an ear that a deer has. It's just, your eye picks up some kind of little movement, and you focus, it automatically kind of focuses over there, and then you really train your vision on that spot where your eye was attracted for some reason. You might even subconsciously not even know the reason. The other thing that is going to get you to see more animals is look for them when they're feeding. Certain animals, they'll feed during broad daylight out in the wild, but a lot of animals become nocturnal or semi-nocturnal. That they kind of hide in the woods, or and they lay down in the fields or something like that until it's they can get up and feel they won't be seen when they're out there looking for their food. And especially in urban areas, you'll walk around, just in the skirts of cities, and you'll see coyote tracks, cougar tracks, bear tracks. I mean, just practically in your backyard, and you had no idea that they were there, because they don't come out and feed during the daytime usually. They but you're liable to see them just right at dusk or right early in the morning, just at first light. They're still maybe out there just kind of getting that last little bite in, just before they feel it's too dangerous, because they're liable to be spotted. So another thing that you might want to do is look for them during migrations. We've found that you can go on the internet and find certain birds or animals that migrate at really fixed times, like the swallows of Capistrano or the monarch butterflies during their journey down south, and the internet will direct you literally to the tree that some of these monarchs will be just see them just clustered together to get some warmth. Just thousands of them on the same tree, and it's really impressive. Or just when the certain birds are migrating, like we've gone through Nebraska, where we'll see during the height of the sandhill crane migration, and seen 250,000 of these things out in various fields feeding. We'll go up near Mount Vernon when either in the fall or the spring when either the snow geese, the swans, and ducks are migrating through, and they all stop at those farm fields. They know exactly when the farmers are planting their corn and their grain, and when there's going to be seeds available on top of the earth to be able to feed on, and they've got it timed pretty well. They base their whole migration on being able to time it to do that. So again, if you time those migrations and say, hey, let's go here at exactly this time, you can plan a vacation around it. Another way of kind of seeing more animals is to go into outdoor areas where you can track them, in the snow, or you can track them in. I just saw a deer run through the yard. Anyway, you see the tracks in the snow during the rest of the year. You'd say, geez, there can't be any animals around here, but you look and there's bobcat, there's deer, there's bear that have come out of hibernation, etc. And it's not just in the snow either. If you learn to look for tracks, you'll see them on the muddy riverbanks, or just sometimes there'll be some loose sand or something along the way. But if you're consciously focusing on, I want to see something, you're liable to hear a twig snap, or maybe a little grunt, or a little rustling of leaves or something. There's something over there, and that kind of focuses your attention on that particular thing. Another thing is, that will give you a tip-off of how to see more wild animals is, to look for, their feeding areas. There are certain times that, for example, east of Yakima, about 13 miles east by Natchez, they feed wild elk and bighorn sheep. There's a regular Fish and Game does it, and you go over there during the middle of the day, and you can see literally 1,500 elk out in this field during the winter, where the game department does it to keep them away from the orchards and keep them from getting shot, and also help them to make it through the winter if it's been a hard snow year. And you can go just a few more miles, I think it's only like 2 miles or 3 miles away, and you'll see where they feed bighorn sheep. And I've seen as many as 100 of them in their feedlot area, come down off the hills to graze on things. So those are in specific areas that, some of the garbage dumps, black bears will come out and feed, especially towards dusk. I've seen places up in Canada that a few people make a couple extra bucks, offering to guide you to these garbage dumps, basically, and say, hey, here's a black bear, take a picture, or something like that. So, looking for help on some of these guided things. There's whale watching trips that you can take. There's take a boat trip up the Skagit River when the salmon are spawning and see all the wild eagles that are there. There's plenty of opportunity like that. You might have to research exactly the dates and the times to be out there. If you've got some favorite drives through wildlife country, and you know that if you're out during the spring or the fall, and you know that a storm front is coming through, drive that route. I've seen on routes that I maybe see 2 or 3 deer on occasion. I've seen 30 or 40 deer, 25, 30 elk, a bunch of wild turkeys, just all kinds of things that come out just before the snowstorm hits, and they just try to pack in some food before they feel it's going to get all covered up by snow. So those are, if you know routes that have a lot of habitat around them, is available for the animals might be there, then drive those areas and look at just open fields where you think they might be feeding at night or something, and they're going to be there during the middle of the day. Some other things that give you a tip, a lot of times if you're taking these big driving tours, I mean, we drive through Wyoming and Montana and see just literally hundreds of not just deer, but antelope, and during a day's time, we've seen as many as 1,000 antelope from the car in the combination of Wyoming and Montana. And just, it's just cool to see how much wildlife is out there, and see wild horses, just south of Toppenish, up on the Yakima Indian Reservation. I mean, we've seen 50 or so, more wild horses in different little herds out there grazing, and now they've started to raise bison and and antelope on that same reservation, just to kind of bring back some of the natural things that kind of blend in with the horses, etc. So it's out there to be seen. You got to be looking for it. Hopefully, some of those trips will get, tips will give you an idea. If all else, some of the zoos, offer great real-life settings of quite a few animals. We've been to the what they call the cat house down in California, where they breed wild cats, and see a lot of endangered species. You won't see them anywhere else. We've seen gone to the Idaho and seen the World Center for birds of prey, and watched them. They have exhibits where they'll have a falcon go chase something down, while you're watching it, and show how they hunt, birds. They've got places to view hummingbirds. Again, just do your research and find these viewing areas and make it part of your trip. If you're driving from here to there, kind of do a little bit more investigation on what kind of interesting things that you might see along the way, and hopefully wildlife will be one of them, and hopefully I've given you some tips on how to see a little bit more of them. And again, with all my videos, you'll find some companion articles actually attached that you can download as part of this video that will put those verbal tips that I've given you in writing that you can kind of take with you when you are out there out and about, and give you a chance to see more of this wildlife on your own, and it might give you some ideas to plan a vacation. So if you see me out there snapping some pictures or something, don't forget to wave.